In typical fashion, the internet has gone wild over the idea that Robert Pattinson is probably playing the new Batman. You know, in the same way they did over Michael Keaton as Batman, and Heath Ledger as the Joker, and Ben Affleck as Batman, and countless other superhero castings, because look, it's just what we do. While the grumbles or celebrations continue though, it's important to get on with looking ahead to Matt Reeves as the Batman, and the crucial question of which villains the new hero could be facing across this rumoured trilogy of movies. From reimaginings of baddies who have already been defined on the big screen to brand new takes on the Dark Knight's Rogues Gallery, there's so many places Reeves' movie could go. I'm Josh from WhatCulture.com, and these are the perfect villains for Robert Pattinson's Batman. Number 11. Penguin, Toby Jones. Penguin has already been rumoured as one of two villains in Reeves' film, and while Robin Lord Taylor has done a valiant job portraying him in Gotham, the perfect choice to play the crime lord is Toby Jones. Yeah, Jonah Hill and Josh Gad have both been mentioned, but neither quite has the range or the depth to match Jones. Any actor that can pull off someone as lovable as Dobby and someone as utterly detestable as Sherlock's Culverton Smith deserves a ton of credit, and Jones doesn't get anywhere near enough. If he were to get a role as a significant villain in a franchise like this, however, that may very well change. The two-faced persona of Culverton Smith would lend itself nicely to Oswald Cobblepot, who often doubles for a philanthropist in the comics by running the Iceberg Lounge as a front for his criminal organization. He'd be a phenomenal first villain for Pattinson's Batman to face, though he wouldn't be the only one. Number 10. Catwoman. Jamie Alexander. Alongside the Penguin, the Batman is also rumoured to star Catwoman, and Jamie Alexander would be a great pick for the role. She'd be one of the many actors to jump ship from Marvel to DC after playing Lady Sif in Thor, but after proving herself as a competent lead in Blindspot, she has justifiably earned a shot at a top-tier character like Catwoman. While more established names like Emily Blunt and Ava Green are being deservedly thrown into the ring, Catwoman is a character who is worth taking a risk on just as much as Batman. Time and time again, both Marvel and DC have proven that unlikely castings make for fantastic performances, such as Chris Pratt's Star-Lord and the most obvious one, Heath Ledger's The Joker. Alexander has proven that she has the acting capability and the action credentials to take on a role like this, and could absolutely repeat the success of those unlikely names cast before her. If the MCU has no interest in bringing her back, WB might as well capitalize on their loss. Number 9. Poison Ivy, Natalie Dormer. Natalie Dormer was a fan favorite throughout her tenure as Marjorie Tyrell on Game of Thrones, and would become a fan favorite once more if she took on Poison Ivy for the Batman movies. While other names thrown about include once again the likes of Emily Blunt, seriously, just find a place for her somewhere, WB. Nobody seems to fit the character quite like Dormer. Through playing Marjorie, she proved that she has the capability to balance a seemingly innocent side with something far more cunning and manipulative. Poison Ivy's character often hinges on her ability to manipulate men, and you need only look at the way she keeps Joffrey in the palm of her hand on Game of Thrones to prove that she's a perfect fit. Considering the special bond between Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy throughout the comics and TV, putting two actors like Margot Robbie and Natalie Dormer together is a recipe for guaranteed success. Number 8. Mr. Freeze. Ralph Fiennes. Considering the reputation of Mr. Freeze, playing the character in a new movie might seem like career suicide. Since Arnold Schwarzenegger's banter-filled monstrosity of a performance, it feels like all hope for the character has kind of been lost. In fact, you could argue that it might be wise for Reeves to ignore the character altogether. Nonetheless, he is a great villain with a great and heartbreaking backstory, and with a veteran like Ralph Fiennes behind him, we may yet see Mr. Freeze's on-screen career saved. Fiennes is one of the very best actors Hollywood has to offer, and could channel Freeze's sympathetic character in his cryosleep. God, that was bad, and I'm so sorry. The tragic backstory established in Batman's animated series made the villain a real fan favorite over the past few decades, and is the perfect material to draw from if he is chosen to step up to the cinematic plate. Number 7. Scarecrow. Adam Driver. Now, Scarecrow already was played fantastically by Cillian Murphy in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, but if the character were to return in the DCEU, the best choice for the nightmare-inducing villain, see what I did there, would be Adam Driver. Driver is currently the main villain in the Star Wars franchise, and has proved his acting ability when making Kylo Ren a complex, intimidating character. With Scarecrow, he could take that intimidation to a whole new level. While the Scarecrow is generally presented as a meeker physical presence reliant on his fear gas, some portrayals like the later seasons of Batman's animated series have presented him as a bulkier, dominant presence. Driver's Kylo Ren certainly has the imposing stature and would be able to provide a physical as well as psychological challenge for the Batman. Number 6. Hush, Taron Egerton. Taron Egerton shot to fame as the leading man in the Kingsman franchise and has recently put on a highly praised performance as Elton John in Rocketman. While Egerton has stated before that he doesn't want to play a superhero as he doesn't want to spend too much time on large franchises, playing a villain is a very different story. Hush is relatively new on the scene, yet has already become one of Batman's most well-known villains thanks to Jeff Loeb's seminal work. He would also be a refreshing villain for Batman to face, considering Hollywood's tendency to reuse the same few over and over again. Considering Tommy Elliott is a childhood friend of Wayne, Egerton's similar age to Robert Pattinson would give him the advantage over people like Matt Damon, who some fans have been speculating over for a while now. This close connection would also make him a much more personal villain than Batman is used to, and hopefully stop them crowbarring in a personal connection between Batman and another villain who doesn't need it. Cough, the Joker. Number 5, Two-Face, Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac has shown great range in some of his more notable recent performances, and is all around a great dude. He's been charming as the likes of Poe Dameron in Star Wars, but has also played the deranged and obsessive Nathan in Ex Machina. There's just so much talent there. And if he were able to channel those two vastly different personalities into one performance, he would make one hell of a Harvey Dent. Two-Face, again, was already fantastically brought to life by Taron Egerton in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, though he spent most of his tenure playing second fiddle to Heath Ledger's Joker. Two-Face deserves far more as one of Batman's most famous adversaries, and an actor like Oscar Isaac would be a more than suitable candidate to show Harvey Dent's decline into madness. Number 4, Bane, Dave Batista. Since the announcement of James Gunn's move to DC to write and direct The Suicide Squad, many people have assumed that Dave Batista, who played Drax in Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy films, would follow him as well. Sadly, scheduling conflicts meant that he had to drop out, but that doesn't mean he couldn't still have a part in Batman's universe. How about as Bane? The most obvious comparison between the two is their physique, as Batista is more than big and strong enough to play the man who broke the bat. As well as this, many portrayals of Bane have seen him originate from wrestling, much like how Batista started in the WWE before transitioning to acting. Though Batista may not be able to outdo Tom Hardy in terms of eyebrow acting or silly accents, he would still be a great presence in Gunn's Suicide Squad and would hopefully be able to provide a strong challenge for Robert Pattinson's Batman to overcome. Number 3, the Riddler, David Tennant. David Tennant has already given a fantastic performance in Marvel's now cancelled Jessica Jones on Netflix. He proved there beyond a shadow of a doubt that he has the ability to play a chilling villain, and one Batman 4 he said he would love to play is Batman's smartest adversary, the Riddler. Tennant has stated that he would want to play Edward Nygma and was even rumoured to play him in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. And nearly a decade later, the former Doctor Who star is still the best candidate for the role. Like Penguin, Riddler has received a fantastic performance from Corey Michael Smith in Gotham, but an actor as good as Tennant could really take the villain to whole new levels. And as dedicated to the crack as he was, we can't have the only on-screen Riddler be Jim Carrey. Number 2, Hugo Strange, Andy Serkis. Another villain that may lay claim to the title of Batman's smartest adversary is Hugo Strange, who is renowned for being one of the few villains to deduce Batman's secret identity, and who should absolutely be played by Andy Serkis. Serkis has long been known as the greatest actor in motion capture history, but he's recently proven his ability as a traditional actor as well by stealing the show as his brief appearance as Ulysses Klaue in Black Panther. It's safe to say then that he would once again steal the show if he brought a similar energy to Hugo Strange. Serkis has said that he would love to be a part of the film, and there are so many roles he could play, mocapped or otherwise. Many have seen him as a great fit for the Penguin, while some have said his mocap history would suit a character like Clayface, but Hugo Strange would benefit from the kind of eccentric performance that only Serkis could give. It would take one of Hollywood's most underrated actors and make him one of Batman's most underrated villains and a big screen success. Number 1, the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix. Casting a good Joker is no easy task. We've almost been spoiled by the performances of Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson and Mark Hamill, and the bar has been set so ridiculously high that even competent performances from good actors like Jared Leto pale in comparison. And next up we have Joaquin Phoenix, who looks like the real deal once again. While fans have been divided over Leto's performance since the first photo of his Joker was revealed, the anticipation for Phoenix has been almost universal. The recently released trailer looks unbelievably promising, and it feels like a waste for Phoenix to only play the clown prince of crime just the one time. The Joker already being in Gotham prior to Batman's first appearance would create a more unique dynamic between the two and give the incredible Phoenix an opportunity to truly develop his Joker into one that can rival and perhaps best all those iconic performances that came before him. So this has been our list. I know that castings are notoriously difficult. I'm sure people will not agree with many of these, but I genuinely want to know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think these are right fits, or do you have someone better for these roles? Either way, while you're down there, could you give us a like, share, subscribe, and head over to whatculture.com for more list news like this every single day. Even if you don't though, I've been Josh, this has been a sing song, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.